Salve, salve galerinha, aqui trazendo mais vídeo pro canal. Galerinha, hoje nós vamos estar jogando aqui o Genshin Impact. No vídeo de hoje a gente vai estar dando continuidade aqui à nossa aventura, fazendo a missão do arconte, né? Os prantos do hospital de Eleazar. Então a gente vai estar fazendo essa missão aqui. Espero que vocês gostem, deixa aquele like, se inscreva no canal caso você não seja inscrito. Vídeo todos os dias, ative aí o sininho das notificações para você receber a notificação dos vídeos. E sem mais delongas aqui, vamos adiantar a missão. Tá. Será que é o...
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting.
Será que é o rei tem que estar pegando a galera e levando?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname!
Dá um apelido feio.
There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru village and keep searching.
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here. Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with...
All Hatham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru village. Bold of you to question our
Será
choices.
que é o rei que tá levando a galera?
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do, which I've now finished.
Really? Paimon doesn't believe you.
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information.
Huh? Right here in...
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before...
What is that?
How do you think the residents of Aru village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean some of them lied to us?
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, remember what Candace said. Most people in Aru village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether King Deshret... By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move, the reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life.
Those eyes.
Don't change this.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholar.
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are King Deshret fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make herself the...
I think it's been a few days since I last saw them.
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them, even though they act a little strange.
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru village at night. In other words, the young miss... By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself.
I'll pass on. You said that she is afraid of me. If so...
We're on it!
Aham.
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier, I've brought someone who...
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of where you stand, but...
Huh? What do you mean?
Go ahead and talk to her. Go on. Earn her...
Is it really that simple?
May I call you hi, Traveler. Do you think the resurrection of King Deshret can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. That's before I wouldn't even have Traveler. Do you believe our lives will get better?
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. And we aren't really residents of any one nation. But even so, we've met lots of people from different places, and we've always fought for what we believed in. We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them. That's why we decided to stay here for a while.
I want my apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come.
Oh, Hatham told us you have your reasons. It's okay.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in King Deshret.
Speaking of which, the radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that...
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. Slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see, and then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I did—
You can tell them. I'm sure she'll keep your...
All right. I'll tell you what I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes...
There are
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often. And when it does...
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard. But because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old...
I think they used to use it for treating Eleazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's go.
Tá, deram a localização. Tá. Ok.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected. Super strong bandits? He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then... I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits... What are you reading?
Okay, sure.
Huh? The natural position, which is the
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya. How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey, Paimon's your Tibet trip. And anyway, it's not Paimon's fault that the books people... Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's...
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought. There's a...
Whoa. It's like they tucked another... Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms.
É uma das... É? Mas investigue monumentos elementares ao redor do hospital. Tá, esse aqui já tem. Ali em cima. Tá.
Time for retribution!
By royal decree. I'm a rock. Scatter.
Ok.
Look, there's someone over there. Good idea. Let's approach.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. Also,
Didn't expect to see...
you know
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the academia.
he's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holes up in a forest and mumbles stuff about training?
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reached... Leaving that question aside for the moment. Him being here alone means that we might be too late. Looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that was loaded with something...
Loaded with...
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry, as if they were afraid of being caught. And the symptoms are identical.
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh!
Correct. The academia is behind. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale.
First, the academia spread a false rumor of King Deshret's resurrection.
These rumors were all the persuasion that as well as being able to exploit
Life for the desert dwellers has been
many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better.
even if complications arise.
The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy, but it is able to work wonders under Sumeru's current circumstances. throughout this process, first, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. An exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, if you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people an ideal resource.
Resource? For what exactly?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night when no—
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Hyman doesn't want to think about this.
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted, or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule.
Hyman's a little confused. Can they just...
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. However, I can't help but wonder. The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge. But what is I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail.
You mean you're not even slightly interested?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't— Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of
Sounds like you're really against...
Of course. The Academia's actions run— whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, this matter needs to be corrected. Just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait, didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restricted. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and this—
Probably not. Paimon...
You can say that. Simply, the divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't—
Hyman's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad...
Though I must say, uniqueness is also an asset.
Wow, that's a great way to...
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. He won't last long if we leave him here. We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
Tá, vamos voltar pra lá.
We're back!
You must be tired. You should...
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time,
Yep, pretty much.
their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since Divine can't not yet. They fled once we were headed to the village.
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference.
So what you're saying is interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point. But I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are simply put, the academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid—
The academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing the thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your
It predicted my every move.
The academia has been watching you longer than you think. However, the fact that you resigned is proof that their suspicions were well-founded.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly— Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how—
They escaped because of—
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be—
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger.
Oh, so that's— If the academia is trying to avoid Sino, then the safest place— Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! Please, wait! I want to go too.
You want to go too?
I want to find Grandpa.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Paimon feels—
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand. Is that because you play here a lot? Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert. But I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like we'll need to roll—
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay.
These are likely fragments of an academia-developed device. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been escorted this way, because there are device fragments scattered around here. Let's split up and search the area.
Is this what we're searching for?
This is definitely a device used to extract divine...
How did it end up buried in the sand? They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what? Grandpa, I hope you're okay. Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that...
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely... I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone.
But running on sand is so tiring. But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too? Of course it is!
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to—
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me—
I knew it. That's our Dia.
Dia? Why would you— Dia! Hey, what are you doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa?
Well...
This complicated—
You've betrayed Aru village.
So, this is the great Dia. You'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself. I have the means.
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people should know that.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing can deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting King Deshret.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about—
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of King Deshret.
It's not too late yet. The village mad scholars aren't gonna bring King Deshret—
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life. Even if the chance of success—
Even if it'll expose you to the academia? Even if they end up disbanding the—
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. The sun, with these scholars in our custody, will stomp the Academia's forces and fight our way beyond the wall of Samiel.
Ridiculous. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men.
They look more like pawns of the Academia to me. Why would I listen to anything the people of Greater Lord Rukkhadevada have to say? Filthy traitors.
It's Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the Academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips, but I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage.
These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand, am their—
Wait, you can't be
So,
Precisely.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars, perhaps even find out the truth.
think you can talk?
I'm not trying to
You were the
Not all desert—
You academia scum.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said? You know you're making a dangerous decision.
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon.
We've known each other for years.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the academia—
An arm from the flame maid. What if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs.
You're not wrong.
Let's do it right here then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Rama—
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go—
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia! Run!
Stop!
What's wrong? Can't do—
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm. You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave.
Phew. I was really counting on him not going through.
Dia! That? What?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry.
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal if it came down to it.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put.
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grandpa.
Whatever it takes? You just—
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic. Perhaps a little madness.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay.
Então, galerinha, concluímos aí a missão. Nós vamos dar uma parada por aqui, o vídeo tá ficando grande. Espero que vocês tenham gostado. Deixa aquele like, se inscreva no canal. Caso você não seja inscrito, o vídeo todos os dias, ative aí o sininho das notificações para você receber a notificação dos vídeos. E a gente se vê no próximo vídeo. Valeu, falou e fui!